The wind howled through the trees, carrying with it an eerie sense of foreboding. The first snowflakes began to fall, delicate and innocent, masking the danger that lurked within. As the storm intensified, the world outside transformed into a swirling abyss of white. The temperature plummeted, freezing the very air one breathed. The once familiar landscape became unrecognizable, shrouded in a thick blanket of snow. Visibility diminished to near zero, creating a disorienting maze of shadows and shapes. The trees, burdened by the weight of the accumulating snow, groaned under the strain. An otherworldly silence settled over the land, broken only by the occasional creaking of branches. Footprints disappeared almost instantly, swallowed by the relentless onslaught of flakes. The electricity flickered, casting sporadic, ghostly shadows on the walls. In the distance, the low moan of a distant siren added to the sense of isolation. The windows rattled as the storm unleashed its full fury, testing the structural integrity of homes. Ice formed intricate patterns on the glass, distorting the view of the desolate landscape. The world outside became a monochrome nightmare, devoid of color or life. Every step in the snow felt like a journey into the unknown, as if the ground itself had become treacherous. The wind-driven snowflakes stung exposed skin like icy needles, inducing a bone-chilling cold. Eerie shapes moved in the periphery, shadows dancing in the storm's chaotic ballet. The howling wind took on a sinister tone, as if it whispered secrets of ancient winters. Time seemed to stretch and warp, making the night feel endless, timeless, and surreal. The only sound that cut through the storm was the haunting echo of distant wolves. A sense of isolation settled in, as if the world had been severed from the rest of existence. As the storm raged on, the fear of being lost in the frozen abyss grew with each passing minute. A sudden, unexplained tapping on windows sent shivers down spines, raising the specter of unseen entities. The storm played tricks on the mind, conjuring illusions and phantoms in the depths of the snow-filled air. The temperature dropped so low that even breath turned into frosty clouds, a visible manifestation of the cold's grip. The once welcoming hearth now seemed like a feeble defense against the encroaching winter outside. The walls themselves seemed to shudder under the relentless assault of the storm, as if nature itself sought entry. Time blurred, and reality became a tenuous thread, leaving the inhabitants trapped in a frigid, ghostly dreamscape. Just when it felt like the world was on the brink of succumbing to the storm's icy embrace, a gradual calm descended. The wind softened, the snowflakes grew larger and more benign, and the ghostly shadows retreated into the night. The forecast predicted a snowstorm of unprecedented proportions, a tempest that would leave an indelible mark on the landscape. As the first snowflakes fell, they betrayed no hint of the havoc they would wreak. The temperature plummeted to bone-chilling levels, foreshadowing the danger that lurked in the approaching storm. Winds intensified, whipping the falling snow into blinding whiteout conditions. Emergency warnings blared through every available channel, urging residents to seek shelter and stay indoors. The sky, once a canvas of blue, turned an ominous shade of gray as the storm tightened its grip. Within hours, the world outside transformed into a chaotic tableau of swirling snow and darkness. Roads became impassable, buried under layers of snow that seemed to multiply with every passing minute. Trees, burdened by the weight of accumulating snow, began to snap like brittle twigs under the storm's relentless assault. Power lines sagged and cracked under the load, plunging entire neighborhoods into an eerie silence. The howling wind drowned out all other sounds, creating an unsettling sense of isolation. Those who dared venture outside found themselves disoriented, with no point of reference in the blinding whiteness. Buildings groaned under the pressure, as the weight of the snow threatened their structural integrity. The air became so frigid that it felt like a living entity, sucking the warmth from any exposed skin. Emergency services struggled to respond, their efforts hampered by the storm's unrelenting fury. People huddled in their homes, listening to the ominous creaking and groaning of structures pushed to their limits. Communication lines faltered, leaving communities in the dark, both literally and figuratively. Supplies dwindled rapidly as the storm cut off access to essential resources. The relentless onslaught of snow created drifts that reached unprecedented heights, trapping entire neighborhoods. Desperation set in as the realization dawned that help might not arrive in time. In the midst of the storm's chaos, tales of survival and heroism emerged, showcasing the resilience of the human spirit. A haunting quiet settled over the landscape, broken only by the occasional ominous crack of breaking branches. The storm seemed to stretch time itself, making each passing moment feel like an eternity. Windows rattled as if protesting against the unnatural force assaulting them. As the snowstorm neared its peak, a profound stillness engulfed everything, as if nature itself held its breath. The aftermath revealed a world transformed, buried under a sea of white that bore witness to the storm's deadly dance. The landscape, once familiar, now stood altered and scarred, a testament to the power of nature's fury. In the aftermath, communities rallied together, rebuilding what the storm had sought to destroy. The deadly snowstorm became a chapter in the collective memory, a cautionary tale of the unpredictable forces that nature could unleash. The air was so cold that it seemed to freeze the very breath escaping from one's lips. The temperature plummeted to an unimaginable degree, reaching levels that tested the limits of human endurance. As the snowstorm approached, it brought with it an intense and biting cold that seeped through every layer of clothing. Ice crystals formed in midair, creating a shimmering spectacle of frozen beauty. Frost coated every surface, turning the world into a glittering, icy wonderland. The wind, sharp and unforgiving, carried with it a bone-chilling cold that seemed to cut through to the very core. Even the hardiest of trees, accustomed to winter's grip, groaned and creaked under the extreme cold. Exposed skin became vulnerable to frostbite within minutes, demanding vigilant protection against the frigid onslaught. Cars struggled to start, their engines protesting against the icy grip of the extreme cold. The very ground beneath one's feet felt like solid rock, frozen and unyielding. Windows frosted over, obstructing the view of the relentless storm outside. Shivers became involuntary, a constant response to the merciless cold that surrounded everything. The sun, though visible, seemed feeble and distant, offering little reprieve from the relentless freeze. The cold seemed to penetrate even the sturdiest of buildings, creating an atmosphere of perpetual chill. Water turned to ice almost instantly, transforming any exposed surface into a slippery hazard. Conversation became a challenge, as lips and tongues struggled to articulate words in the numbing cold. Snow, normally a soft and fluffy blanket, now had the texture of razor-sharp crystals, capable of inflicting pain. Wildlife sought refuge, retreating to insulated nooks and crannies to escape the deadly chill. The extreme cold seemed to slow time itself, making each moment feel like an eternity. The crunch of footsteps on frozen ground echoed like gunfire, a stark reminder of the harsh conditions. The sky, though clear, held an oppressive weight, as if the cold itself pressed down from above. The sound of cracking ice filled the air, a disconcerting symphony that underscored the severity of the cold. Metal objects became so frigid that they burned to the touch, creating an added layer of danger. Steam rose from bodies bundled in layers, a visible testament to the battle against the extreme cold. In the midst of the frozen landscape, a surreal beauty emerged, with ice-coated branches glistening like diamonds. Despite the hardship, a quiet resilience permeated the air, a determination to endure the extreme cold and emerge on the other side. The moon, casting an ethereal glow on the frozen world below, witnessed the silent struggle against the harshest of winters. In the aftermath, as temperatures gradually rose, the extreme cold left behind a landscape transformed, its icy grip loosening but leaving an enduring memory of its formidable presence. The extreme cold became a story told and retold, a testament to the ability of nature to challenge and reshape the human experience.